legend that is Larry Zeke, 5 foot freak. And today we have a very, very special show for you. I mean, it's really, truly special and close to, I guess, each and every one of our parties. So much so that we're going to change the lineup a little bit today. We're going to go ahead and let the legend give you his red ass segment a little bit earlier.
So, they're saying Jay-Z is a sellout. That's what we saying as a community. Jay-Z is a sellout now because I guess he's invested into the NFL.
Right.
Well, you know, bought what he part owner of the team. Is that right?
Well, we don't know which team yet.
Right. So he's a sellout, and I take major issue with that because it's the same thing that we did to Obama. As soon as we get somebody from outside to get on the inside, then all of a sudden they're not doing enough or they're sold out. First of all, we have to get on the inside in order to be effective. We
can't change things.
Exactly. And so, you know, we throwing stones at this guy, and I'm like, he's done more than Colin Kaepernick. I mean, not taking nothing away from Kaepernick, but what has Kaepernick done?
He's done a lot. He's done a lot. You can't take that away from him.
No, I can't. But my thing is, why are we holding Jay-Z as such a moral hostage? And that's my issue.
I don't think it's necessarily they going against him. I think they're going against him for what he said. The statement that he made was, you know, Kaepernick kneel. It's time for us to move past that and get on to bigger and more things. And I think that's the issue that the people have.
Well, that's the truth to that. I mean, okay, and it's just like with anything else. When you look at civil rights, and it's like things progress.
Right.
So we kneel to shed light, which we already knew was a problem, but to bring it to the national forefront and shed light on the situation. Nah, it's time to progress. It's time to take that next step and do something about it.
But
you can't keep kneeling.
But it ain't moving on though.
No, it's not moving on.
From what?
No, it's not. It's not, man. I think maybe he used bad choice of words. Yeah. But I think what he meant is time to progress, to take that next step. Right. We can't stay stagnant because we can't stagnant.
We got to keep it moving. And the thing is that before we start passing judgment, which we quickly do, and it holds us back. We're our own worst enemy. I mean, look at some of the things that he's done. Just some of the things that we know that he's done. Because a lot of things that Jay-Z do, he do it behind the scenes. He's raised money for activism in Ferguson. He didn't participate in the Super Bowl. Raised money for the Trayvon Martin family. Campaign for the release of Meek Mill. I mean, this guy, and we talk about LeBron, to me, he's right with LeBron as far as being outspoken for the injustices that's going on. But yet, as soon, I just don't understand the mentality. It was on Facebook. Somebody said that, you know what, that doesn't surprise me what Jay-Z did because he used to be a drug dealer. He's selfish like that. And that's how he treats his community. I'm like, come on, man. Really? So that go ahead. What you got?
But I was going to go into another issue that they had. Jermaine Dupri in the last Super Bowl when it was in Atlanta. You know, the NFL wanted to network with him to do shows and events and stuff like that.
Right.
And Jay-Z told him not to do that. He said because it's going to end up hurting you in the long run.
Right.
So now you got a lot of people that's like, okay, you told Jermaine
him not to do that,
but now you didn't do it. So I mean, it's more than one issue. It's two issues. I agree with everything you're saying because I'm a Jay-Z fan.
Yeah.
I like what he do for the community.
Yeah.
He go back to the hood and he help people in the hood. But the thing is, like the King said, he probably used bad words.
Yeah. I mean, that basically gave me the red ass.
Okay, so now that y'all got y'all dose of red ass, we're going to go ahead and go to break. And like I said, we have a very, very special show today. We are broadcasting here live from Maduro's Cigar Lounge. Y'all come in, say hi Mr. Fred, buy a cigar, come sit down, talk to us or whatever. Or if you can't do that, call in. But again, we're going to step away, go to break. We will be right back. And like we told you, we had a couple of very special guests in the building here. We are broadcasting live from Maduro's Cigar Lounge. And really with us, these guys need no introduction, but
none at all.
But for those of you tuning in, we will let them introduce themselves. And I guess we'll start to my right. You want to introduce yourself, sir?
Okay, I'm Coach Ron Holmes.
Coach Ron Holmes. He was our defensive coordinator when I played there, and he also was a head coach for how long?
From 2003 to 2006. 2009.
2009. Okay, and to my left we have Mr.
Jerry Drones.
And he was our head coach. And just give us your resume, coach. Come on, tell us that. We're gonna go back. I want you to tell us everywhere that you coach, what you done done. And then after that, what the rivalry, this clash of the Causeway rivalry meant to you.
Okay, I'll just say I started at Galveston in '74, and I was JV freshman coach, or JV sophomore coach. Back then, we had two coaches that coached both of those teams, and I did that for a year, and then I became a defensive coordinator the next year. And I was a defensive coordinator until '86, and in '86 I took over as a head coach, and I was there from '86 to '91. And the thing about the rivalry is I left Galveston, I went to Texas City for 4 years, so I was involved in that. And then I left Texas City and I was at Marque for 6 years. So I've been on both sidelines of that rivalry. And I left there and I went to Audi MacArthur, and I was there for 7 years, and then retired, and I coached at C.E. King for the last 10 years. So I've been doing it for 45 years.
Let me take a stab at it. What kept you motivated to coach so long? What was your motivation?
Well, as y'all know, I enjoy the players. It was nothing for me to coach, go through off season, and go to the gym and play basketball with my players. I mean, all the players would tell you I'd be in the gym for another hour or so. So about half a game, there's nothing for us to get through at 6 and I get home by 8. But I just enjoyed being around the players. I kept the clock for basketball, so I'd be around that. I was close to a lot of basketball players. Right?
Yeah.
And where I've been, I was part of it. I grew up playing sports. I was involved in it, and I just enjoyed doing that. And seeing, it's amazing. You see a player come in the 9th grade, and sometimes they're timid and they don't know anything. And y'all got one I'll talk about a little later.
Right.
In the 9th grade, he was the B team player. And 4 years later, he's an all-state player, and he goes on to college and the NFL. And then
hard work pays off, huh?
And another one I see kids like Kimball that's gonna be on here. And I laugh at him because his sophomore year, he was going straight basketball. And we talked with football, and the rest is history. But you see those stories all over. Where I've been, I see those type of stories. And that's what makes it good. To see somebody start somewhere and make it. And you see them 4 years later. And then you see them, in my case, being in this area, you see kids that brought on, and now they got families.
Yeah.
They coaching. They retired from coaching. And I've been blessed that I've coached players and their sons and their grandsons.
3 generations.
So you get that, and it's amazing. And when I first came in, I remember seeing coaches like Coach Kirby and those that had done that. I'm saying, how do you do that? And then next thing I know, I'm one.
You end up doing the same thing.
It's just fun.
So, Coach Holmes, how long did you coach him?
Okay, my overall experience coaching, I coached in the high school level for 34 years. I coached 1 year on Cleve at Texas Southern University, and I just retired again, coaching 7 years of prep football.
So I guess we need to ask you the same. Well, what kept you motivated? Because that's a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, you coaching as the children grow up, move out the house, and then, like you say, your grandchildren. So.
And the thing about it, all my life been involved in sports. My daddy played in the Negro baseball league and stuff. A lot of people don't know that, but it just the initiative after, get into coaching, because I had great high school coaches. Coach Mitchell, Coach Kerrville, who started me when I was over at Central, and they was good to me, and they led me. Really wasn't no father there. My mother and father divorced, so looked like those coaches, they took time with us, and not only mom tried to make us study and stuff, the coaches made sure that we were very respectable in school, and also that we got our education. So I felt that with them, that they laid the foundation for me, and I always say that if so many people played professional sports, but I say if I didn't make it and everything there, I think my calling card was to be a high school football coach period, and also being able to instill the same thing that my high school coaches installed in me.
Coach Holmes, you born and raised in Galveston?
Born and raised.
Born in BOI. You played for Ball High. You
played for Central.
Played for Central. That's okay. All right. And then when they integrated the '69 class, you
integrated.
Okay then. You coached for Ball High and you played. The approach. We have a big game coming up this Friday, the Ball High Lamar game. Was your approach to coaching your team, was it different as a player? I mean, what was the thing that you would tell your players? Did you have them just approach it like a regular game, or did you let the passion, because you're from Galveston, did you kind of put a little bit more?
Well, number one is you got to say passion, number one, because Lamar was our rivalry even when I was in high school. We played at Lincoln High School, and that was the black school in Lamar. And the thing about it, we knew one another. We dated girls from Lamar, the guys from Lamar.
Oh, that's just still going on, man.
That's way back then.
50 years.
And like I said, the guys from Galveston dated the Lamar girls, and the guys from Lamar dated the Galveston girls.
Wow.
So it started from that, and just being a rivalry, and we always had a pact. No matter if we were playing marbles, we never was going to lose to Lamar. And with me coming up my junior year, senior year, my sophomore, junior year, we did beat Lamar, and then my senior year at Ball High, which Lamar, what I'm getting to say, integrated also. So we was able to beat Lamar High also. And so for even that, it just like again a passion. Even when I started coaching, even when I wasn't coaching, we just had that in our heart that no matter if we played marbles, basketball, what, that we never was going to lose to Marque. And the same thing when I became an assistant coach, that I coached the same way, and also becoming a head coach. Yes.
And I got a couple of questions to ask and bring up on the show. Like Coach Holmes was talking about like how they emulated their coaches. And we kind of do the same thing, whether it's the sand, the running to the fence, what color the fence is and stuff like that. Me quitting my freshman year, he making me come back on the field and say you're going to continue to play football like he was talking about, Coach Anderson, he was a basketball player and converted into football. So my question to that is, like the modern day kids now, the things that y'all probably did as coaches, like we can't do now.
Exactly.
Like you got the heat advisory and stuff like that. We didn't know about heat. You're going to get out there, you're going to run.
You're going to earn your water break.
Throwing the pie, get off the bus.
You ain't just going to go get water on your own.
Right. So with that being said, I know kids are different today. And, respect is everything. I remember Coach Joe Dinky, I had one of my kids to take him a chair in the cafeteria. And he didn't even look back. He sat in the chair, but the next day, he said, you had that kid to bring me the chair. And I was like, you was in the cafeteria that day. And I was like, yes, sir. And he was like, you gaining the respect from your kids. Never asked me like how we was going to do, or what our season was going to look like. And he was like, is the kids respected? And I was like, yeah. He said, once you gain the respect, they'll do anything for you. And you know, Coach Anders say that all the time. Like, we didn't play for the wins, we played for our coaches.
Right.
And kids these days don't understand that.
Right.
They feel they got to play for the stats, they got to play for the recruits. All that'll come.
And play for themselves.
And play for themselves.
Yeah.
So I think today's kids are a lot different. And from you all coming back from the 70s and the 60s and coaching us, do you see a change? And I know you see it in school with the kids with the attitudes and stuff like that.
But not only just from the kids, but the parents the same way. Y'all, you got so many young parents. And the thing about it, they want their kids to succeed and stuff, but are they there to back their kids to succeed? Mm-hmm. And a lot of kids today, like when we coached you guys knew what all hard work was. Yeah. And today, like the kid, if you overwork a kid gonna quit, and then the parents say, you're working my kids too hard. Yeah. See, when you guys came through, we didn't have that, because your parents knew that under our hands, under our control, that we was gonna treat you guys just like we treat our own kid. So they knew under us, they was in good hands. Right. And they was to learn how to do right. You know?
I would add something to that. I think about Otis, and I say that, you know, I know y'all know I always told you, just like Coach said, you were like my kid. Yeah. And y'all know because my kid played with y'all. Yeah. And you know that when he acted up, I jumped him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I ran him one day
from the school stadium. And when we drove out, we left Kevin and Coach Jones. It was like, oh,
yeah, man.
But you know, I try to get you to understand, it doesn't matter. I expect certain things. And I told you, you represent the school. You represent me. If you were one of my football players, you represented me. You know, I had a news writer come in one time because we had a problem with Marque. You know, the coaches almost got into it. It was a real bad halftime. And so the next year, when the writer said, well, you know, Coach, you had this problem with Marque last year. Do you think it's going to be a problem this year? I said, I don't know what's going to happen in the stadium. I can't control the stadium. Right. I said, I know what's going to happen on the field. I said, because my players know they can't do certain things. And so I don't even worry about that because they know what I expect of them and what's going to happen. But I was just talking about Otis. I remember I was doing the clock one day with basketball. And he was acting up on the sideline. I just kind of stood up and looked at him, and he stopped because he knew I'm serious. You still one of my football players. You're going to act right. You're going to show respect for them.
And see, that right there, that story right there, that pretty much represents the coaching staff that we had, man. We had so much respect for them. It was one of the best coaching staffs. And with these two kind of having polar opposite personalities, you know, you had Coach Jones. I don't think Coach Jones ever said a cuss word. And I really, man, try to use that technique. I try not to cuss, but I can't do it like Coach Jones. I feel weak, man. I got to let it rip. And then you got Coach Holmes, who's the interpreter of what Coach Jones. Oh, man. Worse than that, we have to bleep everything out. Coach Holmes come back and back it up, boy. And they're like, you little. But anyway, but I remember, man, I know y'all remember this. Remember we played Willowridge. It was before the game. Coach Jones gave his speech. He said,
Bigfoot.
Oh man, he said, you know what them son of a gun said over there? They said they're gonna put 30 on y'all. Now I said we go out there and put Bigfoot in their foot. No, I was so pumped up, man. I couldn't wait for it, y'all. Because that's the right, that's the equivalent of getting us cussed out because we cursed. And then Coach Holmes will come in and come with the interpretation.
That really happened. That wasn't before the game.
That was halftime?
No, remember back then, if it was a close game, they called both coaches out and they had to give the stats because you know, it went on the top break. So I know we're up 7-0, and we have the ball, getting ready to go and try to score again. And he comes up and he tells the coach, he asked the referee what the stats was, but he said, you know, the penetration was even because they had got down and didn't score. Right. So they got a penetration, but we had to penetrate down and score. So he said, so we scored, and in time, we win the ball game. And I'm thinking, we about to score. How you about to score? So that's when I came. I said, you know what that's something down over there? And Kevin said, everybody's out here. They wait on me to call himself else. I said, yeah, I'm not going to say that. And everybody that's played for me, and all those schools up there, they'll tell you, and they always say, they say, Coach Brown cursed, we know we did something real bad. I'm not going to give a curse.
I have a couple stories, and I think first and foremost, I like to thank y'all for many of us who came up and played under you guys. Fathers marked there or whatnot.
That was huge.
And and I think it's a testament to you guys that we still have relationships all these years. And I call you regular. Kevin's always at my house. So, but I can remember a story. I'm gonna give a story about each of them. When Coach Brown first, me and Kevin went and watched the state football game. I don't know if you remember, it was when Marque was playing. We went to Lil Wayne's place and we watched. And I seen Coach Jones have a drink. It blew my mind. I said, man, I didn't even know. He said, there's a lot of stuff I couldn't do around y'all.
Remember you came and was playing a ping pong tournament? And Coach Jones was having a back like, oh, Coach Jones, man,
I got a story too.
And then with Coach Holmes, me and him had a but so hey, just one of and
you grown now. You can't run you no more.
Man, I would call myself a troublemaker, but I was borderline. And I never forget one time I came to we get ready to play a game, man. Before the game, I could say at night when I had me a few drinks before the game. When you run in after just a game,
you gonna smell like.
And we were standing up there, I was getting ready to go in. Coach Holmes say, damn it, I don't even need to look. I already know who it is. I moved all the way down there. All the way down the sideline.
And he kind of eased the way down.
But let me ask y'all a question. Do you think, like, in this time, the tradition of schools have went away? Like, people ain't following the same traditions? Like, okay, for instance, we was in a kickball league, right? And we always had to run off the field, couldn't walk. Once you cross the street, what you had to do when you cross the street?
You had to jog.
You had to jog.
If you didn't want to jog, you had to go around and come in the backside. I couldn't come across that field walking.
38, 39, and they come to watch us play in a championship kickball league. Game. And we all was walking off the field. Patrice can attest to this. And we only had to hear his voice say, what y'all doing walking? Don't you know everybody started jogging off the field?
Yeah.
Because we was programmed.
Yeah. He was ingrained in you.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
that's it, pride.
The pride, the tradition.
Yeah.
So you think that's gone away from a lot of schools? Or people not coming back to talk about the tradition and the things that they probably went through as athletes at their school?
I think one of the things you got there, you look at it, like I say, the loyalty to the school. So many kids now that play where they don't want to face the challenges. So the next thing you know, they transfer to another school. When they go to another school, just going from school to school. That's the pride. That's the thing. I remember telling one of y'all's teammates, his mom said something. She said, we were talking, she said, I still bleed blue. That's Central Blue. I said, the only problem with that is your son plays for Bob High. Right. You don't play, it's no more Central High School. That's fine to have pride there. As a matter of fact, I played for a Central High School in my hometown. It was Central. I said, but I went perfectly gone there. I'm working here. And I said, your son plays here. You need to have pride here. Because he's the one, that's what you support now, is him. And that's just my thing. I always talk about here, coaches, the statement, they say, it's not about that name on the back of the jersey, it's that name on the front.
I used to tell us that too. That big wheel eye.
Now, I have a question. So, Clash of the Court. was different about that game and the importance of that game? And I know they all were important, but I mean, we know it was different when we got ready to play Lamar. So what?
I think more like, again, more or less the neighborhood. And what I'm saying, the class is Causeway, because you got cousins.
That's it.
You got cousins at Ball High, you got cousins at Marque, you got friends at both schools. And then I think that's where the camaraderie comes. And they believe Lamar is blue, and we believe Ball High, our blood is purple. Right. And so the thing about it is it's a pride thing. And what it is who wanted the most, and who wanted it at that time. And just like so, even I'm retired. My blood is purple and gold. But I'm a Lamar taxpayer. But my heart is across the Causeway.
Right.
And like I tell people in my neighborhood, and the funniest thing, my daughter graduated from Lamar. My son graduated from Ball High. Mm. So it's always a class there. And even like we tell Ryan, we say, you know, that's your school, and that's your pride. You know, same, our pride is over here. But when Ball High and Lamar played, I'm going to always be a tour. But when that game is over with, I'm a Lamar's taxpayer.
Well, I went through some of the same stuff. Because Kevin lived in Lamar, but he played for Ball. So at that time, the same thing, I was a little disappointed when Lamar dropped down. Because now we play Lamar first. Honestly, I preferred playing them when it was for a championship. Mm-hmm. That to me was the bigger class than the first game. And then I went through the same thing. My daughter graduated from Lamar. And she was a cheerleader, homecoming queen and all that. So, and I still remember I was in Texas City and play them. And she said, well, Daddy, I hope your players do good. Not the team, just your players. And I guess that's the thing that I've been on all those sidelines. So it was a big thing when I was in Texas City to play Lamar. Yeah, that was a big thing for us.
So, Coach Jones, you coached at Ball, Lamar, and Texas City. What's the difference between the programs? In your opinion?
Okay. And we debate about this all the time.
Yeah.
But the thing that got me, and people used to ask me, because so many people at Galveston that went on to college and NFL, and they said, well, what is the difference? I said, to me, it was how we treated the players. Mm-hmm. I told them, I said, because I saw stories and I saw people at Texas City, and I heard stories about the Marque, this kid would be late, and they'd hold practice up for him. Mm-hmm. Or this kid would come there dragging and all that stuff. And I said, no. I said, it didn't matter who they were. Mm-hmm. If they were wrong, we put the board on them too. Right. I mean, he could be the best thing we have. Right. I mean, Patrick used to ask me all the time, Patrick, they said, Coach, why you stay on me? I said, because you're the best player I got. Right. And if you can't do it, then all those freshmen, sophomores that's looking up to you, we can't do it either. And Kevin was telling me, he said, well, that's true. He said, when y'all were freshmen, y'all came over and wanted to work out one day. And at the end of practice, Patrick wasn't running hard. And I jumped and told him to go back and do it again. And all the freshmen said, we told Patrick that. But I have to know that, and I told y'all that all the time, there are youngsters looking at you. Right. And we expected that thing. So when you went off to college and the coach yelled at you, bother you. Right, he was already used to it. Aaron Hill said, he said, he had coaches, our kids leaving at LSU and stuff. He said, man, this is easy. He said, what y'all do, this is easy. In high school. Yeah, but that's what you got to do. Too many times, and I still see it. Great players get treated special. And then when they go somewhere in this competition and they can't be special, they quit. but they go somewhere else. So that's what I think happened in Galveston and Texas City, the point. If the kids that left Galveston, they were prepared to be treated like, my thing was, you're not special because you're a good football player. And I think I used to tell y'all that. You're not special, you're blessed.
Right.
I said, because you have a special talent, yeah, you play football. Well, what makes that different from that kid that can play a horn?
That's true.
Or that can throw a baseball, or can play basketball, or can go do something else, that he has a special talent too.
Right.
So why should we treat you special? We can't put you up on this pedestal because God bless you with a little talent. You have to understand that He gave you that. I'm going to make the best of it. I'm not going to use it to get away with stuff. I'm going to use it to do what I can do. So when I go out to college and a coach yells at you, a coach gets loud, because I guarantee you, you go to watch the Alabama practice, you think they hug him and kiss him? No, they don't. He would curse him. He would do all kinds of that. You go watch the Texas. When he was at Houston, I used to go watch him, and they would be on him. But guess what? They winning. He wasn't killing him. I say, talk about house at you and yell at, they ain't killing you. But I used to tell youngsters, I say, don't worry about how I say it. Just listen to what I'm saying. I may say it hollering and screaming at you. That ain't what it is. Just get the message.
Tough love.
I'm gonna use that. Don't worry about how I say it. Just listen to what I'm saying.
So it's like we have a special sense of pride. I don't know. Is it just a me against us mentality? We out there in the water alone. And I had a story. I don't know. My wife said my sons were playing, and they played at Spring High School. They were in the tournament, and they won. And Ball High was on the other side of the bracket. They lost the game before they played. And she asked me, she said, well, who's Ball High? I'm going to root for them to hit 30 or 40 points, but I'm going for Ball High. I mean, it's just what it is. And so that was just our, I think our mentality coming up that, and I think that's kind of like when you see us together now, even now, we in our mid-40s and whatnot, but you still see a couple of us still together. We keep in touch with one another. It's just like a class reunion. I talk to everybody I want to talk to.
And it's funny you say that. I don't know if y'all remember the senior year when we had our banquet. Coach Brown said, it's up to one of y'all to keep everybody together. And he was like, some people will have to lead that charge. And he was like, Otis, you need to make sure everybody stick together. And it's funny that he says that because when you need a number, who you call?
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, that most classes are like that. Kimball's class, they were real close.
Yeah.
But you kids get it, he probably can tell you where the rest of them are. But I mean, it's family. I mean, you can't go out there and say, oh, we brothers in football, we doing all this. But damn, football's over, I'm going here, you go there. It doesn't work that way.
But I think our class had special ingredients to make us extremely close. You had the Derek Brown issue that brought us real close. We had Kevin, which we was all tight with, and of course, I think we had some things going on. Coach Jones kind of already knew what we were about all the way from 8th grade, so they already kind of had plans and just made us real tight. But I do want to say something about when I was coaching at Lamarque, I had a lot of success. And the weird thing about it, every time we played ball, I wanted to beat them. At the same time, if we won, it was bittersweet. It was bittersweet, man. I could never just enjoy it because I always wanted ball to experience a championship. And even when we beat them in 2010 in basketball, when we went to state, a part of me really wanted them to win that game. And it was hard for me to kind of swallow that, man. So, and just piggyback what y'all was saying as far as you bleed that purple and gold, it don't go nowhere. I don't care, who's signing that check, where you occupied, you still purple and gold.
Before you go, I know we got to go to a commercial break, but this is something I like to bring up. And me and the legend, Murph, we argue about this all the time, and Wes have to come in between us and stuff like that. And one of the things that he stated to me, which I don't disagree with, what I disagree with is, I asked him, what was the difference is coaching at Marque, and you all winning championships to why we couldn't win a championship. And his thing was, it was like what you said, the discipline.
The discipline of the kids. That was the difference, because
but I feel like we had discipline.
No, not compared to them. Think about this. When they told us to go to the weight room, did we really go to the weight room like we're supposed to? Being self-motivated. See, when I got there, some of y'all, yeah, you was one of them. Me and Wes, no. So I'm just being real. No, we wasn't. But when I got to Lamarck, and again, you got to understand too, those Lamarck athletes, they had something to build on. The traditions kind of already started. They already been to state 6 times, and I got there in 2002, so something was kind of already built. So I'm going in there, weight room, 6:30 in the morning. Everybody in there, they pumped up, they enthused, and that was kind of the difference. It wasn't they had more talent. It wasn't that the coaching was better. I just think internally they were just a little bit more disciplined.
Okay. You feel this? You think the same way?
I think some of it too. You got to look at it, and Coach Holmes, I can tell you, a lot of winning a state championship is you got to be good, you got to be disciplined, but you got to have some luck too. Yeah. You look at the times I was won it when we used to take Lamarck, we won it.
And I ain't mad at you about that either, Coach.
Both times though, if we could have lost the game, we should have lost probably to Cal Allen.
Yeah.
You know, the first year I was there, we should have lost to them. Yeah. We easily could have lost to Smith and Valley. Yeah. You know, the next year. In every game, you look at it. You know, I remember Westbrook. They won their first championship. They won one game, 9-6 or something. They were really one bounce and that ball could have gone. You know, anyway, look at y'all. You know, we have one of the bad thing that goes down. And it ends up 14, I mean, a tie game. Right. But we could have won the thing. You know, but and you see it all the time. It's always going to be some of the little things, 1 or 2 plays. Right. Kimmel can tell you, NFL and all that too. You know, crucial games, it's going to be a game. Look at Seattle. Yeah, they lost to down there on the goal line.
And they ain't give it to Lynch.
They don't run that one play or something. You know, and how many times does Super Bowl get lost because somebody don't make a first down or don't make a touchdown right there at the end?
It's a game of inches.
So,
I know we're going to go to break. Quick question, Coach. If we would have beat Kingwood, you think we could have went to state?
Yes. Oh, no. Because they went on there and they won the next 2 ball games. Yeah. And they were a pretty good team. People don't realize Kingwood almost beat Aldi that year, who was national champion that year. But they barely beat Kingwood in this year. Yeah. So it wasn't like they were a bad team. You know.
And just thinking on that, most of the games we lost in the playoffs, even go to Kimberly and see, they lost to Beaumont French. Beaumont French went to the state final.
Powerhouses.
Co-champs.
You see what I'm saying? So when ball have lost, we've had chance, but each time we have lost, even when I was with Coach Coach Forrest, we won game away. We lose to what? Austin Westlake. Austin Westlake state champ. You know, so it is. You gotta have a little luck. So in other words, when you want to win them all, but when you do lose, in other words, you still had a chance, but you didn't lose to a slouch. You know what I'm saying? Right. I can see if you lose to someone and the next week they get beat. But a lot of times, the ones we lose
to is winning.
They gone. Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to go to break. Take a little time to maybe get something to drink and step out with it. Hey, we can go all day with this, right? We can go out there, but we have other guests that we want to bring in, and we show that you call in on the last segment. We're going to let you question Galveston Ball's current head coach. He'll be in the studio on the last segment. So if any of you have any questions, you know, why we not running the ball enough, why we not throwing enough, we got receivers, we got them all in here. So y'all can jump on them this week and leave me out of it. All right.
Do it again.
We are now back at the upper room, and like I promised, we have a couple more special guests in the building. The clash on Causeway here and Maduro Cigar. Now listen, we all pro Galveston Bob, but it takes two teams to make this clash, so we brought our brother in. He's a Cougar. We're going to treat him with some love and some respect.
He's family. He's family now. He's family.
So,
right now he's not though, but he's family.
Well, the game ain't started.
The game ain't started
family
yet.
right
So,
now.
yeah,
The
we'll
game
get
started
that.
Friday. So that's how it
Look, but yeah, we got two former greats from both sides. From the Marque Cougar side, we have Mr. Ron Daniel. And from Galveston Bob, we have Mr. Patrice Alexander. So now, I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna give y'all the stage and let each one of y'all give us what it meant to play in this rivalry. How did you prepare differently going into other games and so on?
So you want to go first? Okay. The Baja rivalry, there's two definitions of a rivalry.
I forgot his name.
So you pay for Lamar, the Baja game is a game. As soon as you get your schedule, that's what you look at. What is the Baja? You know, we had a lot of respect for those guys. You know, for the true rivalry, you have to mutual respect. I believe they respected us as a talent. We respected them. At the time, we truly believed that we got a program. I know they had super outfits for Baja, but it made everything again. I was senior year when we was we had to beat Bob. Other games, of course, you want to win the district, you want to go into the playoffs. But the Baja game,
oh, okay,
you had to win that game. The whole school buzzing.
Yeah,
that week, the day of the game is like a carnival on campus. Baja.
Oh yeah. He still got some phone to do.
I got a question for Ronald before we go to Patrice. Ronald, in the 80s, Ball High, I don't know all the exact stats, but Ball High pretty much dominated Lamar during that decade. When we played y'all in the season of 1990-91, you guys beat us 13-7. Do you think that particular game was a springboard or a launch pad for the next 20 years of success that you had?
I think that game was the first game in a regime of Coach Waddell. He brought a different mentality, a different training regimen, and I think that was the catalyst to our string of victories. It was a different team, different mentality, different work ethic. So I think that started it all.
But did it give you guys more confidence because of your, again, you guys really didn't fare well against Ball High in the 80s. So it's time to get over that hump in 1990. Did you feel like it gave the overall program, because that game means so much, give y'all the confidence, like, we beat Ball, and then we got this coach coming in and the program. Now we can take our eyes and move a little bit higher, possibly playoffs in state.
I think it's deeper than that. I think it did. Of course, starting off with a victory against Ball High, of course, that set a stage and set a pattern for the remainder of the year. The seasons before that, we really have to look into the offense that was running Lamar. The run and shoot, spread offense, it was new. It's either you go all or nothing. And because if the pass game not working, you have nothing. So the 80s, it's hard to measure because it was a run and shoot. We went into the I formation, more of a running game, more balanced offense. I think, the overall team became better. That Ball High game gave us the confidence when she did to start the dynasty.
When I look at it, that year y'all dropped the 4, right? And so that caused us not to play in district, but the first game. Normally we would play in district. And one thing that I noticed about that once Coach Warden got there, y'all were much better. What is the word I'm looking for? Conditioning. Yeah. And I think that played a huge part in that game. And you know, even after that, you know, I watched, and you know, y'all, Marque stayed supremely conditioned throughout the years. I mean, that he was there. And I think, and I'm not saying one way or the other who would have won if he would have played later in that year, but I know just watching that game, condition played a huge part in it. You know, by the time we hit the second half, we were gassed. They were still going.
Let me ask you this, Mark. Even with the year that y'all beat us, and then y'all went down to 4A, you think the caliber of the team y'all had, you think y'all would have been that good on the 5A level?
Yeah, what I believe is my personal opinion. 11 players, 11 players. That same team, if you change the district, if you change the class, you don't change the team. Still the same players, everything stays the same. And you guys went deep to the playoffs that year. With each other. So I know we could have competed with anybody you competed with. Right. On a 5A level, because you was 5A when we got the victory. So I think that it really made a difference at that point. And as far as conditioning, it did make a difference with what Dale brought in. In every practice, we'll go 21 cycles in practice.
Now, explain the 21 cycles.
It's a itinerary where he breaks down different drills, different cycles. And every 5 to 10 minutes, you'll switch to a new cycle. So a practice will have 21 cycles, different training regimens. Right? At the end of the practice, you did something called 40-40s after every practice. And that was to replicate the fourth quarter. So at the end of practice, we'll run 40-yard dashes after every practice.
That's the difference.
So that was the condition. So he conditioned us. The fourth quarter, that's when we start. And all the teams are gassed. That's when our best.
Well, let me ask you another question. Did y'all have spring practice that year?
That's 28 years ago. I think
y'all did.
I think we did.
That's one thing that we didn't do for all the time.
Right. So y'all was already ahead of us.
But if you don't get spring, you get extra week in the fall camp, right?
Think about it, if you come into the situation, you're coming into 2 days, you already have your offensive start. You go into 2 days, you're getting started on offense. Y'all was already a curve ahead of us. And what you showed in the game, if you look at the game, you said we was down. That rivalry was the catalyst of the season. Starting during that time. We always took them unto ourselves. If whoever won that game, everything else was easy.
Them guys was in mid-season form on the first game, and we still trying to get our plays.
Because they already had everything installed. And you know, Mr. Cephas Scott brought that to my attention. He's like, you got to look at it. They started 2 weeks ahead of us. So if y'all second week, nothing against y'all. I mean, y'all did the right thing. But if you look at the second week, they already running their offense. And second week, we still trying to work our kinks. We still making errors.
I thought when you bypass the spring, you get an extra week.
Yeah, scrimmage game away.
Yeah, but that extra week.
I don't know if they were doing that back then. That's the rules now.
We got the extra week, but we were still in conditioning at that time. Y'all was already into y'all offense and defense.
But I'm telling you what bypass our team went to the next level. So we're talking about the rivalry. That started in junior high. Whatever you played in junior high, you was already in the program. So from 7th grade to you make Boston, it's the same play, it's the same position.
And see, we didn't have that.
So it was a program.
So that's a big advantage there too.
But something I want to say about what he said about 11 players, it's 11 players. It's true. But when you think about it, even though they dropped to 4, and your class is based on school enrollment, they had more players than us.
Right. They athletic numbers. They had athletic numbers were 5A athletic numbers, but the enrollment is 4.
Yeah. The difference between the 4 and the 5 enrollment.
Yeah, but what
there was probably 300 students less than us, but talent-wise,
they've always had good.
But what I'm saying is that they still had the numbers. Yeah, and they played 5A the year before. I mean, they did 5A. But listen, and so now let's get to your side of the rivalry.
My side of the rivalry is Marque
what it was? If we go back to Little League, we knew them guys personally when we were at track and field. We played football against them in middle school. On the junior high level. It was always a rock. It didn't matter if it was Hitchcock or it was Tech City, but Lamar and Galveston Ball, who was the two premier programs in Galveston County, that was blood, sweat, and tears. That's all we played for. Whoever won that game, guess what? You had the bragging rights in
for a whole year. That's right.
Now, throughout your life.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because when we played, and I'm not trying to be funny, from 8th grade on up, we lost one time.
Right.
That one time. That was it. That's the only time we ever. And you know what? They still. I hear it to this day. Man, Clyde doesn't call me every month. And you know, man, you remember that punt return I had? It went from what it actually was, like 27, now it's like an 83-yard punt return. And you remember that time I was you, and Raw looked at them like, you know, so.
I got a question for Patrice. Patrice, in the game that we lost, 1990, do you feel responsible for their win streak for the next 10 years?
Yeah,
you feel like we had a part in that, and like, man, we let our city down because they went on a 10-0 run and it started with us.
Hey, I just had this conversation with Josh McCullough and Jared James about 2 weeks ago. When I said, people look at me funny because I'm from Galveston, I said we have to give them Lamar respect. After we lost that game, that program was on a whole other level. Even people want to say they dropped Safori or whatever. There's only 2 premier programs in our region. And that's Cleve and there's Marque, Texas. Marque High School. You have to give them props. So, do we look at it? Yeah, I look at it. I look at it all the time. I'm like, well, if we would have won that game, we would have beat Kingwood. Could we have a state championship? And that probably would have been the catalyst for our school, Ball High. With the many great players that we had that went on to the next level, went on to college, and we could have the bragging rights. People got to feel to realize, that the Marque High School, they're one of the premier football programs in the history of the state of Texas.
I think it's, one game, I think I have to side more with him, because I think it's when Coach Wardell came in, that changed. I don't think it was that one game that happened, because it's not like we were 60-0 and they hadn't won any games up until that time. But it changed when he came. And he brought a different culture. Yeah, it wasn't, and I'm not, taking nothing away from me, but beforehand, what was happening was lined up talent versus talent. And more times than not, we had more talent. But, that old saying, when talent gets outworked, and that's what happened. Man, you can see the change in the program. 6 state championships, and I'm not here to take nothing away from anyone. The 6 in a row, they win, championship games. So,
we bought into his philosophy. And one of our mottos was that year, 48 minutes to play, lifetime to remember. And then we are 28 years later, we still
talking about the same thing. And it's funny that you say that, like, do you think the game that you played in that we lost, do you think you had something to do with that? And right now to this day, last year I called Coach Drone because everybody knows at this table I fumbled on the 1-yard line. And I think if I would have gotten in the end zone, it probably would have changed the whole dynamics of the game.
But you fumbled, it's like hit you.
I fumbled on the 1-yard. So that still stuck with me. It stuck with me up until now. So I had to call Coach Drones and ask him, like, Coach Drones, did I lose the game against Lamar? He said, no, that fumble, yeah, we could have won the game, but it was a whole lot of other dynamics in that game that changed the game. But it goes to what you just asked Patrice, like, do you feel like you lost that game? And I felt like I did for a lot of years, man. And I got to listen to Keelan Muse talking about, Brown, if you would have scored, we would have won. But it took up to me last year calling Coach Jones and say, Coach, did I lose that game? He was like, no.
But it just goes to show you how important this game is and what it means to all of us at this table, to where we still dealing with the effects of that loss, and you taking it personal. And Brown, I don't even remember that fumble. But here's the thing: when we lost to Cleve, did we ever talk about the loss to Cleve? Think about it, dude. As much as we talk, no, we always talk about that loss to Lamar.
Well, and you don't deal with them guys. Yeah. Do you even know anybody who played for Cleve?
True that. True.
I think Jerry know Huffman. He scored. I mean, he was catching all the. He was catching all the passes on Jerry.
But what I'm saying is, you don't run into those guys.
Right.
Yeah. You don't hang out with those guys. And like Coach Holmes said, is think about it. I was throwing tail back in this guy's cousin. You know, I had a cousin that played over on the one team, so we still see these people. We still talk to them. We say, I called him up. That man, you want to go to the casino? Yeah. I mean, so we still
interact with them.
Yeah, and I mean, so and the thing is it wasn't. Now that week, that was hatred.
Yeah, we ain't fooling with it.
It was hatred. But you know, now we grown men, we got families and stuff. We hang out with stuff. I mean, even back then. I mean, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It was hatred. You know, but so
is there a difference between a Marque athlete and a Galveston athlete? Because you got to understand the whole timeline of how they really came to be. Most of the Marque athletes are from Galveston. The families migrated over. Remember, a lot of them families, they moved in the 60s and 70s because of the plant.
But I don't think it's a difference between the Marque and the Galveston athlete. I think it's a difference from the environment that they grew up in.
And that's what I was about to get to.
You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of the Marque kids back in the days when we went to school ain't go through what Otis went through.
Right, because they live in South Acres, they have a nice subdivision, their parents making pretty good money. That's
we ain't have.
I must live in that part of the world.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, I'm just saying.
But you really want to say the two-parent household.
Exactly.
Both mom and dad have jobs.
Right.
Go back to what y'all was talking about in the earlier segment with Coach Brown and Coach Holmes, the difference between the kids. Okay. Me personally, I thought the Marque was a school. Their kids was very distant. We didn't have to. They didn't have to. Like Ron was saying. I mean, like Coach Holmes, Coach Holmes said, you go in that locker room, even when Murphy was coaching over there. Them kids was already at there at 6:30 in the morning. Us, a lot of us had part-time summer jobs. We didn't make it. A lot of us, hey, dude, want to go a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you something else about Lamar. When Riddell complimented, we couldn't celebrate. We couldn't, you know, it wasn't any noise talk, wasn't any trash talk. We had one game where the JV played, I think it might have been Carolina, so the JV had a fight on the field. Now, tell you, that's a Thursday. We watched it. We weren't even there. That next Monday, we all was punished. The whole practice for what they did on Thursday. That was the mentality they had. It's like we never had a 1,000-yard runner when I was there. We might have had 300, 500-yard runners, but we never had a 1,000-yard runner. We had no superstar. Everything was by committee. Everything was more on a humble level in the market, and that's what Riddell did. This one was everything in the market.
Well,
at that time.
Another difference though, when I got there in 2002, everybody played football. And it goes back to the numbers that you were saying, how the numbers are high. Everybody, including the thugs on the street. Now, they may not, after the football season, they may not make it.
But how did they get the numbers up? Like, what was the
No, they had to get the numbers up because everybody wanted to play. It's tradition. They
now it ain't like that with us.
And their daddies and everybody else, they've been going to state. So when I got there in 2002, hey man, it was already in cruise control. If you look at Galveston, you got a lot of kids, a good percentage of our athletes didn't even play. Some of our best athletes was in the streets. So that's another thing.
Coach Riddell, he went and got the kicker off the soccer team. Never played football in his life. He went and found him and made him a kicker. And he got a full-ride scholarship to Texas A&M. Just so he went and found the players. Like you said, once you become winners, everybody wants to be a part of it anyway. So it wasn't hard to recruit athletes from the school. So everybody wanted to go on the team. Even if it was just practice, never touched the field. Just to say they was on the football team. It mattered.
We gonna go back to that. Just think about our numbers. I could, in the class of 1991, I could name it. Just imagine if we had an we started as a freshman, so everybody we had coach out. He just started giving us the he dropped his equipment in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Not to call him out or anything, just talented guys. We had Tracy Brown that was on the opposite side of you, Cedric. Put him in the slot. He didn't become Tracy. So it's different athletes. We didn't materialize, and we didn't use all the athletes that we had.
That's right.
But that's just all around. I mean, you know, everybody. You know, we got the point and start picking and I like the biggest one for you was when you think about it. And I know Tracy probably but as fast as Tracy was, I seen said go get Tracy. And Tracy ran down the post to be the fastest dude in the state of Texas.
That was at practice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But he went and caught him. And after, so here we are, probably got one of the fastest dudes in the school in the state of Texas. And he only run track.
Let's take it back to about track. Well, we did have second.
That's what I'm saying. So he didn't even run. So
You know, that's nobody. That's a lot of school stories.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But again, what my point is deep as Galveston condition was in track. Why couldn't we get him to buy into, like, and you see what I'm coming back to? How Waddell got y'all to buy into what he was saying.
It didn't matter if it was football or track.
Yeah, we bought into football.
But you know, another thing I think too with Lamar's success, and I ain't saying Galveston is big like a Houston. What more do they have to do? It ain't a lot to do in Lamar, from what I know. But in Galveston, you got so much to do. You got the projects to go to. You can sell dope.
You got a lot of money. You got a lot more trouble.
You got a lot more trouble to get into.
And so that's why
they're a close knit community.
Yeah.
So that's why we had a bunch of our top athletes.
Man, if you told me on the weekend I could make $500, what you think I'm gonna do? I'm going to
But y'all had more players go to the next level. And there's a difference with what y'all had that we didn't have. Just like I have y'all two coaches in there. I had coaches that was part of the community and knew y'all personally and cared about what you do after that. When I was at Lamar, didn't have that. You know, on the football field, you was an asset. After that, it was over.
So it's just we want to win.
Yeah, it was over.
Ain't worried about what Ron gonna do after that.
Y'all had a lot of guys that took y'all best interest in heart.
So it's a win-lose situation. Yeah, y'all won, but we probably had the better.
Just think about this.
Y'all more support from the coaches, without a doubt.
What coach did you play high school football? Oh yeah.
Ball.
Yeah, Coach Holmes played high school.
Ball.
Now what Coach Holmes said that was something key. That was Kirby, it was his way.
It was his coach.
So it's a tradition thing.
Yeah.
My mom went to ball, played football, you know.
And it's crazy you say that because
his brothers, it's a tradition.
If you look at the hierarchy, they don't look at it like that. They'll rather bring somebody else in instead of saying like.
That's what they did Lamar. They brought in guys that wasn't from Lamar. Coach Dell was from Angleton or something.
Yeah.
You know, and he just came in Lamar. Like I said, he was a football coach, knew football. He cared about football, but that was it. He knew the technical. You know, you come to Lamar, you see the size of athletes, the speed. You know, any coach will salivate over that.
Right.
But and I say once you graduate, there's one time, you know, I started on defense, played offense, every kickoff, kick turnover. After graduation, I seen him coach in the hallway. He walked by me like he didn't know. And that's the story of a lot of walk out.
Because he was done with you. He didn't need you no more.
He didn't need you. You know, so you know, y'all went to the next level, and someone went to the level after that. But with us at that time, I can't speak to all the wrestling classes and other coaches, but that was it wasn't anything personal after that. You know, that push was good.
It's crazy because you don't hear them stories, and I'm glad you said that.
Okay, let me ask you. Okay. Speaking of the next level, you went on, you played real shit. Okay, you went to USC. And then after that, you played for what may be within the biggest rivalry in the NFL, Washington Redskins and Dallas Cowboys. Now, of course, you know, you went for playing for love of the game to get paid, you know, millions of dollars or whatever. Give me a difference. Compare those two rivalries.
Ain't no difference really. It's like Cowboys, it's blood, sweat, and tears. We didn't like them guys didn't like us. Usually our game was going to be for the division championship. We had to see them guys twice. That's the only difference between that rivalry, Galveston Law, and Marque rivalry, and the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys rivalry was. We was gonna see them guys 2 times a year. Lamar was gonna see them once. It was gonna be for either the district championship or who's gonna make the playoffs. Same with the Cowboys. We see them guys. So we played in that first game in Houston. We had a second chance to beat.
But Patrice, did you take it as personal as you did the Lamar?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
But you wasn't from Washington, though.
It doesn't matter. I was my team growing up. I always been there.
Okay.
And my dream was to play for Washington. I ended up playing for Washington. So I took that rivalry just as deep as I took the Lamar.
But let me ask you this. Now, looking back that you retired, do you still run into somebody, and I'm sure you do, but how often do you run into somebody from Dallas say, you know that day I took you out to please winning that game? How often do you do that as opposed to running into a guy like this that you see quite often? You see what I'm saying? That's the difference.
Yeah, then I have to deal with, people. I see a lot of Galveston folks who migrated over to Lamar, and now they playing in blue and gold or whatever colors they want to call. They're not purple and gold like Coach Jones was talking about earlier.
Marque one of them.
No. I mean, Coach, that is important. That was Pam, so I
can't forgive him for that.
Otis takes it personal.
I do.
I give him that.
Especially how
I have a question.
But
I always wondered. Every time I come to Cigar now, me and OB, we always.
Oh, we go at it all the time.
I really don't know if I could cope. You've been on the losing end.
I can't. How do you do it? I still have a hard time. See how you trying to throw that in my face? Like, how do you do it?
How do you cope? I'm being really, like you said, it's a major rivalry, and it's so major because I hung out with you guys prior to the game, after the game. So now I want to make more than beat you.
But see, my thing is, my thing, like what Ron's saying, like throughout my life, we gotta always hear that Ron beat us our senior year. And I wish the table was turned because you want to be able to hold that, like saying, y'all ain't never beat me.
And they do that, and it don't matter that we beat them all the time, but they always talk about it. And that's it, the last game.
This is my deal. Seniors are the leaders. Now, if I was the sophomore on varsity, I'm not the leader of that team. There's a senior class. Right. In my senior class, when we the leaders, when we've been in the program for 4 years, we won. And that means something because I feel like we were the leaders.
You got that the rest of your life.
It was our team. So that's why I say I can't really attest to the years prior to that because I wasn't really an integral part like I was as far as being a physical and mental leader. One of them, my senior.
Let me ask you a question. You say you don't think he could be on the end of that?
I would hate to go on there. I can't answer it.
Let me ask you why. It's probably because most of the time we see you, we all know. And you know you're here.
And that's the beauty of it, is that I'm outnumbered, but I'm still on top of all the rest. So that's the beautiful part of it. Like right now, with all you guys. But I'm the winner.
Yeah, we still love you though.
And with that said, we're going to go ahead and get ready to go to break. Thank Mr. Daniels for taking a little time today coming out here. But we'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we got one more guest that we want to bring in. We're going to bring in the current head coach of Galveston Ball. Wanted to get Lamar's head coach, but scheduling conflicts or whatever. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. We're now back at the upper room, Clash of the Causeway is the topic. It's that week. Right now we got the current head coach of the Galveston Ball High Tour, Mr. Kim Williams. Mr. Kim Williams, give us the resume. And tell them, start from the beginning, man. I want y'all about the all-state running back, running shoe, the all-pro with the Kansas City. Man, come on, man, give it to them. This is it, man.
DOI from Galveston, a lot of things we said, Coach Holmes and Coach Jones my coaching as well back in the day. And traditionally, ball has been great. We had a lot of guys come from that city making the NFL. I think we had like 10, 15 across the country. Came from Galveston. I was blessed to be able to be one of those guys. We had an awesome run in '85. We lost in the quarterfinals to Omar French, who went on to play in the state championship game. We wound up beating Madison that year, which is #1 in the nation. So with that said, we had a lot of great opportunities to win games, and games were won, by a real spot.
Now, what about the talent? Because y'all had a lot of talent. You had yourself.
Yeah, we had 16 D1 players off our team in 1985.
Okay.
4 go to the NFL.
4. Okay. Now I just knew you and Eric.
Eric Hill, Todd Scott.
Got Todd played on that.
There's one more guy. Who was that? Pet was a little after. So it's
but then you had Kevin, who was pro baseball.
Yeah, Baptiste.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. So obviously we had a lot of talent down there, man, and it's just been a grind. The one thing that I do appreciate about our players right to this day, like being competing with all the guys, that the camaraderie that you build as an athlete in sports and playing this game, that friendship for life. You know what I mean? And that's what we pride ourselves off of. And I had the opportunity to go to University of Houston and play there. My story is kind of unique that I had the opportunity to get drafted. I played with Andre Ware at University of Houston. He won the Heisman Trophy, but I always thought at some point in my life that I would be a Heisman Trophy winner. But at the same time, I was there with Andre when he won the Heisman Trophy, so it felt good. Yeah, part of it. And being in the running shoe with some of the best coaches. And obviously, I'm going to say this, Coach Brown, Coach Cleve, the tradition that we built in Galveston was based on hard work and discipline and work ethic and all this stuff. That's one thing that I pride myself on. It wasn't my talent that got me to where I was. I was a very disciplined player. One of the things I would say too, at the next level, being smart. Being a smart football player is key. The whole thing is success to be in the NFL, and I had the opportunity to not get drafted. I got cut from Pittsburgh coming out after in 1990, and I was at Holmes, and the mailman came by one day. He said he knew a guy in Pittsburgh, he gave him a chance to go get a trial up there without he willing to go. And the rest was history. I played for the Kansas City Chiefs for 10 years. I had the opportunity to go to 3 Pro Bowls, Chiefs all-time leading receivers in the history of the game. And just had pretty much a legacy up there, man. Kansas City was really good to me. Stayed there 25 years. Wound up getting into coaching, kind of by accident. Just went to some kids, and the guy hired me at the high school there. In Kansas City, you can actually volunteer to coach. I volunteered at Fort Osage High School 15 years ago, and I made my way back to Galveston. I coached at a couple of high schools. I got a college level, NAIA, coached at Allen University, Mid-American Nazarene, where Coach O went, and kind of blossomed in. And fortunate for me, I would say this, that education has always been a part of my life, so I wish I could do a master's and before they go out the day for being in the position I'm in now as administration and all that stuff. So just a journey. You never know what your life may entail until you live it. So it's a true testament coming from pretty much, like I say, Galveston projects, growing up in Causeway and just having an opportunity to do something with my life and value the game. I take this game very seriously too. And the reason I do this game, the reason I coach now, because I want to give the kids opportunity forward to do something that's special. And it's just not about winning games, it's about life lessons. And that's one thing football is taught about for the most part, about life lessons, building relationships, and having something for the rest of your life that you can have.
Coach Andrews, I think Coach Drone was saying, was that you? You started off on B team as a freshman? Who was that?
He was basketball.
Oh, I thought he was Michael Jordan.
I was a basketball player. I was 5'11" in 8th grade. Averaged about 30-some points a game, and thought I was a phenomenal basketball player. Came to high school, I played junior varsity my first year, and I wasn't going to play football. And I was working at the Boys and Girls Club, got a summer job and stuff. And Coach came over there, my mama made me play, and I thank God to the day that the coach kind of taught me to play because I still played basketball throughout my high school career at the same time. Football. I started off as a defensive back. On my sophomore year, I made the varsity team. We had 16 guys that was sophomores that played varsity football. That was back then. Guys, Woodrow Jones, the main linebacker that tried to beat up everybody. So we had that experience with some tough hard-nosed football.
So when did you transition to running back? Because like you said, you was a hoop in 8th grade.
My junior year, I didn't play running back.
Was it the coach's decision or was it
It
yours?
was a coach's decision. It was a coach's decision that started playing running back. I was starting quarterback my sophomore year. And then my sophomore year, I played a little running back in my senior year. And actually, Pepper Jr., Edward Benjamin, will tell you the story. He thought he was the best running back in my senior year. After the third game of the season, I became the second game of the season. I became the starting running back. Go back to reflect a little bit back. My junior year, I did rush for 1,000 yards. I was part-time. But we didn't play all out there. My senior year, Pepper was starting running back in the second game. And obviously that season, we had a great run. With 9 on the district games. I rushed for 1,952 yards with 28 touchdowns, but we only played half a game because we beat people so bad early on. We had a hell of a defense. That was our biggest thing. Our defense kept us alive. The offense was just ran the ball. It was Kim Bradley right, Kim Bradley left. It was Cleve. Offensive line was 300 pounds. Dude right, big kids. We had those guys up front, man. We just had a real disciplined team that I believe that outworked anybody in the state of Texas at that time.
So you come full circle, back to where you started, and just like you so earlier, we had Patrice on, played for the Washington Redskins, and he played a very heated rivalry with the Redskins and the Cowboys. But would you play with the Chiefs and the Raiders?
Oh, sure. Oh, God.
Yeah, now that was so now I want to, you know, I mean, you're a couple of years older than me, so I don't know what the rivalry. I remember watching you guys. I sat in the end zone back then, you know, but what was the rivalry between Galveston Ball and the Marque like?
It was phenomenal because, you know, back then we was in the same district, so the game was more important than it is now. It wasn't the battle of cards, but it was district. You tried to win a championship district, championship, whatever, at least that part first. And the Marque always had talented athletes, man. They had, Speedy was one of my favorites. I tell Speedy this to his face a lot. He was one of the best running backs at that time, and then they had a lot of great players. So we always had mutual respect for them, but we was gonna get out there with them because we knew we were rivalry, we was friends, and like I said, we courted the same girls, the whole theory and all that stuff. So, but it was amazing to have those type of relationships, and to this day they still get it.
So, I guess my question is, what's the big difference between the Clash of the Causeway, the Chiefs and the Raiders besides, you know, you driving Range Rover? What's the big difference?
High school, man. High school sports, man. It is phenomenal. It's just, like for me, those were my life lessons. That was the beginning, you know what I mean? And understanding football, what I know now about football, if I can reverse and go back, I wish I knew it. But at that point in high school, we were just trying to be the best high school players. I'm gonna say this: outside of thinking about going to the NFL, at that point I didn't think about going to the NFL. We was trying to be, because we looked at our players. I say that when the Marque and Ball was playing at Kerrville Stadium stuff, I want to be like William Ashton. I want to be like Vincent Kerrville. I want to be like those guys on that field. I want to be beyond that. So we want to be the best in this town, the best in the city, the best in the state first as high school players. You know, nowadays you got a lot of players. You bring a little kid up to you in the 4th grade, and the mom and the dad said he's going to be next NFL guy. I never thought about that till I probably got my junior year of college. I'm looking around and now I say, I'm like to play this. I'm looking at meeting Michael Roselle, meeting Lonzo Highsmith, you know, being at the University of Houston. Now I'm thinking that I could, you know, probably play in the NFL. But I always had a dream of being in the NFL because when I was watching Walter Payton, When I grew up, I almost just like what I played. We used to go outside in the parkland and play on the cement, the grass. We
Football.
played cemeteries. We played everywhere as a kid. Throw up, tackle, it turned into touch, turned into tackle real quick. And we were, by nature, we were very competitive. We hated to lose. We would take teams to cemeteries and play them. We would take teams to old Am's and play them. So just naturally, it was just something instinctive that we did, you know.
Coach Anders, you talked about your approach to the game as a player. Do you take that same passion and intensity as a coach when you're getting the team ready for this game? Do you put that level of pressure on, or do you just kind of come off like it's just a regular game?
No, I just, you know, before I put the pressure on, I take every game as a state game. We play week to week, we take one game at a time. So what I try to teach them, make sure they understand how important the game is, and the bigger picture of the game, time of possession, turnovers, all those things, doing things right and being consistent in what we're doing, trying to make sure what we're doing a little different now. I believe through the experience of being here, it's my 7th year being in Galveston, that we're trying to get smarter football players. Because, you know, the theory of some people, sometimes they say that football players are dumb. This sport, this game, you got to be smart. And once you get to that level, at the NFL level, you got to be on point. So we try to make sure our kids understand exactly what we're doing. I talk to Coach Jordan all the time. The fundamentals of the game, we got to teach them everything. Can't take it for granted that they don't go out and do exactly what you say. Or I can tell you this too, the buzzwords you use, A gap, B gap.
A lot of kids don't know that.
Don't know that. So we got to do a lot more teaching now than back in our days when we were outside. So we had the ability, because we was outside freelancing, playing throw-up football and all those agilities and stuff, a lot of kids can't do it.
So Coach Evans, that personal passion don't kind of seep out a little bit in your pores when you're talking to the kids about this game? I know you're saying, hey, every game is important, but that personal passion for beating Marque, does it kind of come out?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know you want to be.
Yeah, no, it does, because I mean, they always been a rival. Like I say, it's very important that, you know, the Marque rivalry is for us, it's part of the game that you want to win. It's not going to be the only game I want to win. It's not that important, but it's a game that you definitely want to win.
Let me ask you, some of the guys that you played against from Lamar when you played, do you ever run into them?
All the time.
Okay. What was your record against Lamar?
Oh, we beat them all the time.
You beat them all the time?
We beat them. Maybe my sophomore, maybe. Yeah, but junior, senior, I think we beat them.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Now, his junior year, they had about 50 points at the halftime. They had to call off the dollar.
Yeah.
Because they could have scored 100 first.
Well, so in other words, when you see them, they see you. They go the other way because they don't want to get your mind.
I don't talk about
You don't talk about
I don't talk about it. I tell you what, one thing I respect the game, I respect the people that play this game more than any day. I talk to the kids now. It's my son. Football is tough. It's tough league. You know what I mean? I always respect the game. I always off to the play. I want to go out there and commit to something that's special, you know? I'm not a trash talker. I'm always like, I don't curse. When you hear me curse, you get right to see me. Yeah, if I curse, you get mad. You know?
I've never heard a Coach Anders curse. I just thought about that.
So, he do now.
He do now. Okay. A little bit.
So, just, I mean, okay, we have what makes the class of that special. We have guys. But not only that, this is your program embarking on the new season. I mean, it's picking things off. So what better way than to get off on the right foot, right? So when you sit and you think about how can I approach this? What can I trickle down to my coaching staff that they can trickle down to the players on how, you know, let's say you prepare for the game as a player. Let's step out the coaching box for a minute, but just how you prepare for this game as a player. Like you say, it's a big game. Now, even though y'all beat them 50 to nothing, and everything was gonna get wrong back when we let him know about them. You know, we sang 50 points, but no seriously.
Don't hold me to that. But I know our senior year,
They couldn't have scored 100.
But so, what can you pass on, not from a coach's standpoint, but as a former player to your players about this rivalry? How they approach it?
Really, the tradition that, you know, it's a game that you're going to go out there and try to do your best. We want the first game of the year, which is great. That's a game we want to win and just create that pride of concept of the battle of the Causeway. It means something. It's a start. This start, where you start this season, is based on how we play with Marque. That can carry into something throughout the season. And carry us to another level, you know what I mean? Because coming out the gate playing against a good football team, which is one being able to beat them, have opportunity. We're here to throughout the season. This is the first task. It should be
to go in off of what Coach Andrew's saying too, sometimes it ain't always what the hell is. Because we got a whole new coaching staff and they don't know about the tradition. So now, not only are you teaching the kids about the tradition that they probably don't know about or heard about, but how do you get them coaches to get up to the level and like, hey, this is important to us. And like Coach Andrew said, yeah, the games after this is important too, but you don't know about the tradition of this game.
Yeah, you always want to start off on the way.
Right.
We be able to do that. In a couple of years ago, one of the coaches the and what I do appreciate more, I think, on our staff, how many people we have as Galveston? There's born and raised in Galveston, 5, 6. So they understand the tradition. We have some new additions. Actually, we got a kid raised in Kansas right now that's on our staff. So we never seen Texas football before.
Yeah, it's different to him. Like, he amazed by this. Like, this is serious.
It's a religion down there.
Well, man, we appreciate it. We know you're busy. I know you game planning, getting ready. You have to get ready to mention it. And before we get ready to wrap this up, and then Zeke say his.
You told Lex, hold
Can I
up.
put you on the spot? All right.
I'm not
to give a month
Hey, one thing about this game, like I said, I respect it. I'm not a prediction. I know, I will say this, I do they're going to be prepared, so I'm looking forward to playing a great contest, and whatever happens. I'm hopeful that I'm going to be victorious, but I'm looking forward to a great game, everybody's going to be, at the end of the day, they're going to be pumped up, we're going to be pumped up. The kids know each other, they got good relationships, so we just got to go out there, it's a battle. So I'm looking forward to the battle, and hopefully come out on the right end of it.
Well, no, I plan on being there. I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been a minute since I actually been to a ball in a Marque. I'll catch y'all when y'all come Houston, but I plan on coming out. I might even bring the whole family so they can experience it. But man, with that being said, we appreciate you, giving us the time. Wish you the best of luck. You already know who we behind. We behind you 100%.
Hold on, we don't know.
Yeah, we are.
We don't know if the legend.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we behind Coach Adams and the Golden Tornado 100%.
Because he's paying you
They
right.
signed my check. I'm a boss. So I'm going to be with the purple and gold.
So, with that being said, man, you want to go ahead and thank the people that we need to thank?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. We ain't gonna try to bring no callers in or can we go back and do that?
Well, I mean, we didn't have nobody. I mean, we can, but we can't have nobody to ask.
All right. With that being said,
Let's put some pros and cons.
should we take a break for 1 minute and come back?
Let's go ahead and close the thing.
Let's do some pros and cons.
Go ahead.
Close it out. Oh no, basically, hey, I think this is one of the best rivalries in the state of Texas, bar none. Simply because of the connections, the family connections. You got friends. It's very personal. You know, and I put this rivalry above any rivalry in the state of Texas. I do. And so I think I like it in the beginning of the season because it launches the season. You know, starts off with a bang. And, you know, sometimes you got teams that have this build up. But right now, man, this is the biggest game of the year until we get to district. So, you know, I like it, and just an electric atmosphere, and you can feel it throughout the week. You know, so.
Well, what I like to say, man, big shout out to the Marque Coogers. We all family, but y'all know how this week goes. And then, you know, with Coach Anders, I'm glad he came on the show with Coach Holmes, Coach Drones, and our special guest Patrice and Ron. Coach Anders, he's a very special part of my life. This is my uncle. He gave me an opportunity to get into high school coaching and stuff like that, so I really appreciate him with that. And then for y'all that don't know about the rivalry, you need to tune in. This is a big game throughout the week, like the legend said. We got the King. He never been to, well, I ain't gonna say he never been, but it's been a while since he been to a high school rivalry game with us in Marque. So I hope him and his family enjoy the atmosphere when they come out. And outside of that, we love y'all. Continue to tune in, and we appreciate all y'all tuning in.
All right, so you go.
Now, to all our sponsors and our guests. A lot of times I get the names mixed up, but the legend always tune in and help me out. To Artifacts, we appreciate y'all. Bench Bullion, Busy Bee Cabs, Diverse City Reality, Realty, Elephant 7 Salon, Era Vintage, Fortray Photography, that's my son. Please tune into his site. Him Works, it's not weed, but
it's close.
It's close. And we got Kitty Care, Campus Daycare, LC, the 30C Street Jazz Band. Murph is a part of that band. He played the bongos. I never knew about that until he told me about it. Maduro Cigar Lounge, where we at right now today. P-Tech, Picture Perfect Photography. That's my cousin, Jamisha Hardeman. Please tune in up. She can help you out. T Napoli Health and Nutrition The Shelf. And United Aspiration.
Okay. Go down.
Hey, I'm just, you know, you guys, I say this the first time being here, I think you guys do a great job. I think it's something very special that can be done in this county. So I applaud you guys for putting this podcast together and being able to reach out to the community and spread, you know, good word and good joy for this game that we love, you know, so my hats off to you.
Thank you, Coach. Let me give a shout out to my mama. Happy birthday, Mama. We got a lot of birthdays, and we got 3 of my kids got birthdays next week too. So shout out to them.
Before we end, big shout out birthday to our girl Trinica Lancaster. She is in the building today. Happy birthday. Me and her don't really get along. We probably gonna fight when I get off the air, but I mean I love her.
Okay, with that being said, that is our show for the week. We all in agreement. We're gonna go out with a support tour. I got y'all. Okay. Well, we gonna go support the tours. I forgot y'all, Coach. I gotta be there. Y'all gotta be there. Look, Coach Adams, man, best of luck, man. We're gonna be rooting for you, keeping it up this season. That's the show.